Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Masterpiece MP-27 Ironhide. This guy is probably one of the funnest Masterpiece figures that I've gotten in some time. I know that he's just a van. He's not as cool as some of the flashy cars like Trax or Wheeljack or anything like that, but just fun factor. He has a good transformation, and all the stuff that he comes with is pretty fun to mess with and take pictures with and stuff like that. So I really like this as well because it's a way to display all his accessories that he comes with without just like, awesome, we got a bunch of accessories, but we have to put them in the box so he can only fit his gun in his hand. No, it comes with this awesome little tray here, which is kind of an homage to the original G1. So we had that sled. The only negative, I guess I could say, if there is something negative about it, is that it doesn't have the little tracks, so that it can like kind of set on those tracks. Instead, it just sets on the ground. But it's an awesome way to display all those things, all the accessories, every single one that he has, and still put it on your shelf, because I think it's a nice little display piece as well. It does have a little bit of articulation. We'll kind of cover this first, so you can kind of see it. It does have this cannon, and all these things, they come unplugged, so even this as well. But it has articulation down here. It has articulation here, so this can move, and also here at this joint as well. It does come with a missile. It doesn't fire anything, but it can kind of give you the illusion that it does. This piece right here, I wish this was able to rotate, or whenever they connected it, that there was maybe a joint here so it could rotate whenever it's setting on this sled, or even whenever it's plugged into the van itself. But unfortunately, didn't happen. But everything else about this is really great. You can see his two guns that he can have in robot mode, his jetpack, the flames that are optional you can put on the jetpack. He also has his radar dish, and then these two little whatever you want to call them, and then these two as well, and then his hands as well that he has. So he also has two faces, and he's got his like, oh my god face, and that's just plugged in to the bottom. This is, I guess it's an accessory. I guess it's the one that you can't put on here, but it's one that I will never use after this review. So I just think it's, it's whatever. All right, so getting into the van itself, the accessories that you can plug in here. You can plug one of his guns. It doesn't matter which one it is. It can go in top. Or you could even use this, and this could plug on top as well. Let's stand down. Well, that's fine too. It still stays in there. Now, as far as the details of the van itself, it just being, red. But it does have some little details that are kind of subtle here. You can see this line going across here where it's like a darker brown. Then it goes into kind of a tan, and then to a beige. I don't know how. Red is really hard to take pictures of and also shoot with a video camera. But hopefully that's not coming off as yellow. It's more of a beige, tan, and then kind of a brown there. Now, the one mess up that I see is that, those are obviously tampoed on. It looks like that brown stripe is tampoed on, and then the black is tampoed over it, because there's no brown or tan or whatever on the bottom of the black stripe. But whenever you get here to the end and on top, you can see that it seems like the black stripe should have been a little bit wider so that you could fit all those colors in there. So it's not perfectly lined up. You look at it on this side as well. You have the kind of the same problem. But it's one of those things where if I just set it on the shelf, or if I had it in the alt mode, you probably wouldn't even pay attention to it. So it's something that's very minor, but something that I definitely wanted to bring up to you guys. And again, it might be one of those things where it's just my vehicle or my figure and not yours. So then back here, you can see that you have the translucent tail lights. So you have the amber and then also the red. So I actually like that a lot better than them doing, paint. And then you can see some silver paint here, the nice chrome with the little chrome exhaust, which is pretty nice looking. Then going around here, you can see the Tampograph Autobot logo on there. Got chrome again. Mine's kind of just a little bit scratched up. I don't know. And it was like that brand new whenever I got it out of the package. So hopefully that's showing up. You can see some like little scrapes in there. But I don't know if that's just kind of the way that it was put in the package. And But hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you don't have the same issue, but I wanted to make bring that to your attention. Then you can see some of that tan paint down here, and then silver paint going around the reflective headlights, and then also a little bit of the tan paint there as well. Rims painted, very nice. Sorry about that. And then the translucent windows as well. This back here, we see the red, and so there's no window over that, but still, that's fine. And also the little silver door handles and stuff like that. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. We're going to be going from van to robot, look at some of his accessories, put them together and do some comparisons, and then we'll go back to van. So if you're having difficulty transforming this guy, either way, I'm going to be able to help you out. So like we do in all my reviews. So anyways, the first thing you're going to do is grab this section right here where there's the no window, and just pull that up. And this section here, go ahead and bend this, and you're going to bend right here as well. So with this coming down, so it just bends on those two joints. And then this section, it's kind of like a little accordion there. It's kind of Z's. So you have a joint there with a rod and one down here. So you're going to pull this out like so. And then this is going to be coming down. So, and it's going to look something like that. And push it like so. Now just leave that up in that position, because we're going to grab this section here, and you can see that there's tabs in here, so just bring those out. And then there's a tab there and the spot that it goes in, so just bring that around and tab that into place. Go ahead and get these arms just so they're out of the way, and with that lifted up, you can come up with the arm, and it's going to look something like that. Do the same thing with this one. Just grab this section and then connect that tab, so bring that around, just get that arm out of the way, and you're going to bring that up. So while it's looking like so, then you're going to bring this section, and you see how it just kind of slides right in there and over it. So now those shoulders aren't going anywhere. They're locked into place because this section went around it. Then with this, just for additional locking in purposes, those come down. So I actually like that. A little bit more security to make sure that those arms stay in place. So it's going to look like so, which is kind of silly at the moment. But then what we're going to do is pull back with, if we grab this section and here, it's just a little bit, but as you can see, it as much right there, but it definitely helps. Go ahead and separate here. The only place they're connecting are right here for the legs. And actually, we're going to come around here to the tires. So what you want to do to get the tire in there, you're going to come out just a little bit like so. And there's a rod here and a rod down there. So you're going to bend right here and go ahead and fold that in. So do the same thing with this one. Just, it's here, come out just a little. This one's very tight on mine, but trust me, it is supposed to be bent like that. So, and then popped in. The other thing that you're going to do is this section. There's this joint that bends right there. Hopefully everything, I hate red on camera, but this right here, there's a rod there. You're going to swing back on that. And then there's a rod going through here. This is going to flip around and lay down in there like a puzzle piece. So you kind of see how it's outlined right there. That's what you're going to do with that. So do the same thing with this one. Swing that around and fit that in there like a puzzle piece. Then this section, you're going to come down. And there is, you see that little tab above my finger or close to my fingernail? When you come down with this, it's not going to want to get past that. So what I do, so I don't put a whole lot of stress on this little door here, is I kind of just move my thumb so I can get past that little joint right there. And that just kind of keeps this in place. Like you can see this door, it's not going anywhere. So do the same thing with this one. Bring that around. I just kind of relieve the pressure a little bit as we're bringing that down. Then with the feet, pull the heel spurs out, which is this chrome piece right here. Do the same thing with this one. Make sure those are all the way out. Go ahead and spin those forward and then you can rotate the foot. So now you have the legs. Then with this section here, we're going to just pop this up right here. Just give it a little push, and that's going to relieve these tabs that are up underneath there. Go ahead and pull this little section out. There you go. So just flip that. Go ahead and pull these out. They're just a sliding joint in there. So pull that out. And then you can rotate and rotate. It's just a quarter turn. Bring the legs down. And then you can push these back in. Then you see the tabs here and the little slots there. So, and they just fit in there. Nice. So there's the tire section done and the hips done. Then what we're going to do is bring this up and over, but I did want to show you this. You can see that this is tabbed in under this, so just pop that out just like so. And I want to show you this little thing because this is the only time we're going to look at it. But there is, if you can see in there, kind of a little thing that'll slide in between, and then this is going to go over those screws. So you just, it's going to look like something like that. I don't have it in there correctly. Slide it over that red piece. There you go. And that's what it's going to look like. So I'm going to just go ahead and pull it out and never use it again. So anyways, with the transformation, you're going to grab this coming up, and you can see that there's these two little tabs, and they're going to go in that slot right there. And just kind of push those on there. It's kind of like a friction joint there. All right, so for the arms, I'm going to spin those around to where you have the solid on the front because you have a screw on the back, so that's how you kind of know that you did it right. But you're going to, with the arms, come open here. Then with this joint, you have a rod there and a rod there. You're going to swing this up and then come down with that. You're going to move this piece right here. It's going to move into place there. Come out with the hands and collapse that. And you'll do the same thing with this one. Just open there. You can go ahead and come out with the hand. Pop that. Push this into place, and then that will swing around. And there you have Ironhide. It's all transformed, looking good. Let me just put them in a semi pose so you can see. But yeah, this guy looks really good. I didn't know how I was going to feel about him. There have been several third parties, or I don't know several, but a couple I believe, making an Ironhide and trying to do it masterpiece scale, and I just stayed away from those. I wanted, obviously the official, but this guy is impressive. I like the transformation with it. Again, all the accessories, which we're going to take a look at here in a bit with him, are pretty awesome as well. Everything is tight. There's really no loose pieces on him. I know people talk about his butt being tires, but I'm gonna display him where he's looking forward on the shelf. And even if I did it this way, that doesn't even bother me. Just the fact that van came out to be this, which the van is an accurate representation of the G1, and this is also an accurate representation of the G1 as well. So, or as far as the cartoon, not the toy, no. Because Ironhide is one that it seems like they've always struggled to do correctly as far as making it, G1 accurate, and this thing looks great. So I'm excited with this figure. I'm going to be excited for Ratchet as well, and they come out with a black one, I'll buy that. They come out with a yellow one, I'll buy that one as well. Now, as far as articulation, let's go ahead and go over that. The head is on a ball joint, so it can, tilt side to side. It can look forward, up, and rotate here. Now it also has another joint where this can come up. So let's say that he's wanting to talk to Bumblebee. Well, if you didn't use that other piece and you just kind of did it, that's as far as he can look down. But if you brought it like this and you bring in Bumblebee, you know, it looks like, you know, they're talking to each other and stuff like that. So that way you can actually look down on him, which everybody looks down on Bumblebee. All right, so there's that. With the shoulder, this can go back and forth just like so. The ratchet here can go back this much. It can go this much up just because this piece starts hitting this, but you just kind of have to bring it out a little bit if you want to get it all the way around. With the bicep, this rotates. The elbow has a 90-degree bend. You're going to have the wrist rotate, and the hands have a clamp for the 4 fingers. The thumb is stationary. The waist does rotate. It's a pretty decent waist rotation. It does get hindered or stopped here because of the tires in the back. Now you can unplug those if you wanted to get more movement, but I think that's enough. You would never really need any more than that. Then with the leg section, this can go back thus far. Again, if you remove those, but then it's going to look silly. So that's as far as he can go back. He can spread the legs that far. And then if you lift up on this section, which I do like that these little skirts come up so you can bring the leg all the way forward if you wanted to. Then you have the rotation in the thigh, which is here. You have it here in the knee where it rotates, and it can bend 90 degrees. The feet, they do have a ankle tilt, which is really good and solid, and then a front and back movement. So as far as stability also with this guy and displaying him, he's really good. I think that they did an excellent job with him. The idea of using heel spurs for the back bumper, I think is a really good idea. So just engineering wise, I think this guy was done well. Now, if you want to add the other face, so we have this one here, and we've gotten additional faces before with like Bumblebee, and I'm trying to remember the other ones. Ultra Magnus was easy, but Bumblebee, he's one that's a little bit harder to get the face off. With this here, you just push forward with that, and you can grab it. So just very simple as far as, you know, installing and taking another face. And then you just grab the other one and put that down there, and now he's got this one where he's complaining to Prime about his circuit sizzling every time he looks into a monitor and stuff like that. So again, just push forward with that, and you can put in back this face. Now, one of the things that got a small issue, not that big of a deal. He does come with the 2 blasters, which is really cool. You open up the clamp to his hands, and just like all the Masterpiece, there is the little indentation there to where you're supposed to be able to get that in there. I can't get it all the way back there. You know, I don't know why, but I am able to close the clamp, and it's tight, so it's a little bit tilted, you know, but whenever you put his, you know, hands beside him, you can't really tell, or whenever he's, you know, sticking somebody up, you know, he's got that little bit of a gangster lean with a gun, which is it's okay with me. But I haven't been able to get that little slot of the gun into his hand, so that's kind of a little bit of an issue. And I know buddy Paul said that he actually broke a thumb, so that's something that I don't plan on doing anytime soon. So moving those out of the way, and we'll bring in the jetpack accessory. So get the 2 little flames here, and also this. So we're going to go ahead and plug this on, this, and there is a little peg, and then you have these 2 sides that will line up against this. That way it doesn't, you know, just swing around and around, and that'll plug in the back there. So you can see how these 2 sides came on the outside of this to kind of keep it in place. And there's the jetpack. Now, if you have tracks, you can use his stand if you wanted to, and just plug that into his butt, and there you go. So you could put them in a better pose than this, but I just wanted to kind of show off the features that you could use. All right, taking that off now. He does have a couple of different things. We'll just do it on this one hand. Go ahead and put that up. And then he's got this hand that you can plug on there just like so and shoot stuff out of his fingers. Now, I've tried, this won't rotate, and I tried to see if there was a way to where I could plug it this way, and you can't. So this is the only position that I've found that you could do that with, is just like so. Then he comes with this little piece or a hose or whatever, that it being red, it's not that exciting to me, but he comes with 2 of those as well. And this one's pretty cool. He comes with 2 of these, which I think just looks a little bit better visually. Anyway, it's a cooler looking design, and then you have the gray, red, and goes to gray, which his hands are gray, so I like that. And then you have the radar dish. So if you wanted to put that little weird thing in here, then you can have the radar dish, and you can rotate that wherever you want. It can also fit on this hand, so whichever one you prefer. So there's a little look at the accessories and everything. As far as comparison goes, let's do that real quick, and we'll transform this guy back to a van. All right, so setting him there, grabbing an MP-10 so that you can see that he's just a little bit shorter than MP-10, which I think he should. Obviously, I'm not going to grab them, but Star Saber and Ultra Magnus are a lot taller than MP-10, or a bit. There's Wheeljack, so he's like right in between there. And here is Bumblebee. So you can see some of the different sizes and scales that they have in the Masterpiece line. So I like exactly where he fits. So as far as accuracy, the van's very accurate to the G1 cartoon. The robot mode is very accurate to the G1 cartoon, and then just the way that he fits in scale is absolutely perfect. So this is a really solid Masterpiece figure in my opinion, plus all the accessories that you get, the nods to the G1 toy even, so pretty cool. All right, so let's go back to van. So the first thing that we're going to do is start with these hands and just push those in there. I'm going to lift up on that, collapse this in there, and bring the hand around just like so. Do the same thing with this one. I'm going to open this up, bring that hand in, push that down, go ahead and collapse this on top of each other, and bring that around and set those out away from each other. I'm going to go ahead and lift these up. There we go. And we're just going to leave that just like so. Then with the chest area here, first thing we're going to do is unplug these tires and come out with those. Unplug this section here. There we go. And push this gray piece down. And we're going to bring that around, and we need to get it up underneath this section. There we go. So it should look something like that. Then we can bring these around, bring the legs back, and we can put this section back in here. And you have those tabs, so just got to work with it. Get them in there. There we go. There we go. So sides and front are done. That's down. Then with this section, you're going to rotate here, rotate half a turn, and then you can push in and push that in as well. Bring up the back bumper, which is the heel spurs, was serving as. Rotate the feet. And then you can go ahead and connect those as well, which the only connection point is right here. You've already got those pushed in. Right, next thing we're going to do is these side panels right here. Again, you have this tab that's right over that, so just kind of pull it out of the way. That way you can bend this forward. Do the same thing with this one. And bring that forward. We'll worry about connecting that and lining it all up here in a bit. Next thing we want to do is grab these two sections and bend those around. Now, you might just think that, hey, I'll just grab this right here and pull it back. Well, the connectors are down here, so you're putting all that pressure at this point. You're probably going to end up stressing that out or breaking it, maybe even the first time. So easily done. Just push down on here, and that just releases that, so you can spin this around. Whenever you spin that around, you have to make sure you have clearance here, so you can get it all the way around. That's lined up. Go ahead and push this around, and you'll notice that it doesn't actually pop into place. It's because there's a little piece from this back section. You just need to pop it up over, and that'll get you clear of that. Do the same thing with this one. Push this down a little bit, swing this around. Might need to bring it back some so we can get that clearance. Push that up, pop it over this little bitty piece right there. You can see that. That's what we're trying to do. And then we can line these up, and that one's done already for us. Next thing we're going to do is grab the tires. Go ahead and flip those out, and then straighten that, and then bring it back around. So pull that up, and then you're going to have to, there we go, pop that once, and then you can bring those around to where they're lined up properly. Then with this section here, you're going to slide out this so it frees up this section here. Bring these around to where you have the flat on the outside and the screws on the inside. When you're bringing this down, disconnect here because these were tabbed in right there, so just disconnect that. And as you're bringing that around, it's going to come down as well. And you can see that there's all these tabs and everything. Just get it in there, and we can worry about tabbing everything together afterwards. So again, flat on the outside, pop that, start bringing that around, and just need to get that on the outside there. And then we can pop all this in together. Then this section here, pull this up, and remember we did kind of like an accordion here, so you're going to pull this out here at this joint, bend back here at these, come down all the way, and then this is going to accordion back onto the back, pushing down here, and then just start pushing everything together and making sure all the tabs are tight. So there you have Ironhide back into his van and looking good. So whoops. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. A little bit longer of a review, but this guy comes with a ton of stuff, and I wanted to make sure that I showed it all off. Hopefully I remembered to show everything off, but I think I did. But anyways, rolls really good, looks really good. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.